So, Falynn, your husband, well, abandoned you for Portia, but it seems you've already picked up something in someone new. So, there might have been a reason he did leave you. He knew you were cheating.
I think they were both cheating on each other. That's why, like, so many people got mad at Portia. I'm like, I I just didn't care because it was already a mess. It seemed.
It was a farce of a union, much like Kenya's marriage.
We'll get to that later. There's an update on that.
Oh,
Do they have any children together, Fallon and the African husband?
no, her coot, she never had a child with her coot.
Okay, so now she has three kids and one on the way. Wow.
None of them have rich fathers.
Right. I think all of them have different fathers.
And that's fine, but you should have gotten pregnant by Simon. I mean, if you're going to do it, that was the fool to get pregnant by. This guy you're with, he looks broke and sus. I mean, who wants to get pregnant by trade? Not me.
By trade?
By trade. He gives me a trade tea.
Wow, they say Real Housewives of Atlanta star. Was she a star on the show?
She was never a star. She was barely a friend.
But she revealed that she was pregnant with her boyfriend, Jaylen Banks. Jaylen and I will actually be having a baby. Jaylen and I are expecting, the celebrity reiterated. We are adding another little one to the crazy bunch. It is Jaylen's first baby.
It's his first baby because he's straight. And you know what I say, from the streets of New York all the way out to Vegas, you can't get someone pregnant in the anus.
And Falynn and Jaylen initially denied that they were anything more than friends. The two claim they began a relationship in June. Okay. And Simon and Falynn finalized their divorce a few weeks ago. The timeline ain't adding up. It really ain't.
It didn't add up with Portia, and it don't add up with Falynn.
Who knows the truth? And then Shade Room, they showed Portia liking the post where they announced that Falynn was pregnant.
That's messy of Portia. But Portia's like, look, we were all an adult throuple and we knew it, so it's fine.
Right.
Portia's gonna get pregnant by her rich coot. She's getting pregnant by her trade. Everybody's happy.
Well, speaking of Portia, I know last week we said that she left Dish Nation, but she is getting the checks. Like you saw this week that she does Bravo chat room with Giselle.
I mean,
It's not bad. And I'm glad they took those other two white girls off because they didn't really even bring anything.
apparently not. I am glad that Portia is getting a check, even if it means that Cabrice and Cabrisi gets to eat too.
And they're on 4 nights a week. So for the next 2 weeks, they're taking over for Watch What Happens Live. So that's nice. Two Black women like doing the after show, even though
Leading,
it's Giselle.
leading Bravo in late night. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I and now we know why Portia left Dish Nation. Bravo offered her a better check.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure those Bravo checks are nice. It's better than those Love and Hip Hop checks.
Ooh, those Love and Hip Hop chicken gift cards.
Yeah.
Only good at a Kennedy's near you.
Only a Kennedy's, not the Popeyes, not a KFC.
Mm-mm. Kennedy's.
Right.
Amber Rose accuses her boyfriend of cheating on her with 12 women. Honey, you're Amber Rose. Like, aren't you going to get that you're just cheated on at this point? Like, that's who you're attracting, and that's who you are. It is what it is.
Yeah, her choices, as we can see, like, I don't know, like you keep getting the same guy but expecting different results.
Exactly. It's like Kanye West, Wiz Khalifa. Like, you get with men that you know are never going to be faithful, ever. So why expect that from them? That's like expecting heterosexuality from me. It's never going to happen.
Never. Well, she was venting on Instagram about it. She just said, I'm tired of getting cheated on and embarrassed behind the scenes. And she said, all 12 of y'all bums, the ones that I know of, there's probably more, can have him. Y'all very much knew he was in a relationship with the baby and y'all decided to fuck him anyway. I saw all the texts and DMs. I can't be the only one fighting for my family anymore. I've been loyal and transparent, but I haven't gotten the same energy in return. I'll never say the girls' names because I'm not in the business of ruining lives. Well,
Honey, you could say their names because they're proud hoes. You can't ruin a proud hoe's life.
I I don't know. I think the thing is like they don't want a boring guy. Like they want the bad guy. They want the rapper, the basketball player. Like I feel like she's in this same cycle as Khloe Kardashian.
Exactly. And at least Chloe and her different heads know that she's always going to come in third to the other hoes.
Right. I mean, some people are fine with it, but if she really wants to not be cheated on, like go for a straight-laced gentleman. Like, and I'm not even saying go with a white guy. Like, there's guys out there with normal jobs, but I'm guessing, they want the ballers, they want the rappers, they still want that lifestyle.
I want an electrician.
Electrician.
Exactly. You're going to go out, work hard, bring your happy ass home. You're too tired to do anything else because you've been climbing those poles all day. And if you get zapped at work, at least they'll get a decent payout.
Climbing those poles all day. They still do that?
Yeah.
I just can't remember the last time. Well, I'm in New York. I haven't seen like a telephone pole.
They have them in the rest of America.
Well, the New York bubble.
I was surprised, but yeah, they have them here. They have them in Las Vegas. And I was like, wow, I forget that's how people get power because everything in the city is underground.
So, have you been on Twitter recently and you see how like those Nene memes where she's running in the hills and she's like, ugh. Like,
Yes.
so Nene said on Instagram because she finally commented on it and someone asked her what did she think about it. And she was like, I don't really think anything about it. I think she said she didn't even like it. And she said, I'm not making a coin from it. So there you have it. I'm just like, why be such a sourpuss? Like, the thing is, that to me, it showed that Nene is iconic, like New York. But she wants to be paid for her memes and GIFs.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And she would have been paid if she actually owned the show. You see, Bravo gets paid for Real Housewives in perpetuity. They're getting paid from Hulu, they're getting paid from Philo, they're getting paid from putting their show on the Peacock app. They're getting paid from the reruns. So if Nene was a producer, even an executive producer, and had a share of the show, then she would be laughing all the way to the bank. But because she just got a one-time cast member fee, that's not her intellectual property.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like she just sucked the fun out of it. And I don't have to use Nene's memes. I mean, I could use, New York's. I could use Tammy Roman's. I could use Phaedra's, Candy's. There's a bunch of other people we can use. So
I'm going to use Nene's memes even though she's mad at it. I don't care that the moose is mad. And Nene's been sucking the fun out of life since season 9 of Real Housewives. So she's had a lot of practice.
It just reminded me that I don't miss you on Bravo TV. Mm-hmm. So you can stay at that empty warehouse where you be conning baby boomers into overpriced food and has-been acts.
And overpriced parking. I don't know how you're going to charge for parking in a strip mall.
I will say what you said earlier. There's a song in this. Like, I don't care if the moose is mad. I just feel like there's a song in that.
I'll work on it.
Like a jazz rendition. I don't care if the moose is mad. I don't care. Like something. I don't know. I'm sure you're good. You're the master of jingles. So I'll leave that to you.
I don't care if the moose is mad, even though that hair is bad. Matted, ratted, tattered, and fried. And that she still has that horrible wig.
Right.
Horrible
And I think
wig.
she's still doing some stuff to her face. Like she's looking more and more like a white woman in blackface. I'm just saying. Let's talk about the Jeff Lewis Has Issues podcast. You may know Jeff Lewis from the hit Bravo series Flipping Out or his Sirius XM radio show Jeff Lewis Live. And now, Jeff is bringing you a brand new podcast we'll think you'll love called Jeff Lewis Has Issues. Whether it's drama with family and friends to parenting or relationships, there's no denying Jeff Lewis has issues. Jeff is joined each week by friends, experts, and celebs from Tamra Judge and Jackie Schimmel to Judge Lauren Lake, Patty Stanger, and others as they take a no-holds-barred deep dive into every detail of Jeff's life. Come for the laughs and leave feeling so much better about your own life. Check out Jeff Lewis Has Issues. You can subscribe now on Stitcher, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Oh, so our Kenya and Mark Daily update.
I heard Mark said someone threatened Brooklyn. Now, no, nobody threatened that 2-year-old. Now, you, maybe, but not that 2-year-old. And we've barely even seen you in your nose ring. So I don't think anybody was threatening you.
Well, the article says Kenya Moore shuts down ex-husband Mark Daly's attempt to block their daughter Brooklyn from filming Real Housewives of Atlanta. They say she successfully shut down Mark's attempt to block Brooklyn being on the show. So Kenya will now not have to blur her baby.
Oh, good. I mean, Mark, that is the textbook definition of a sorry man. Just a sorry, sorry man.
She chose him. I mean, she literally just chose him for his genetics. Like, oh, this is a gorgeous man. You know, let me use him. I feel like this was a business transaction. Like, he never loved her.
In the words of Phaedra, she should have kept peddling through sperm banks and going through catalogs to find a man that she didn't know was an axe murderer or an Olympian to conceive her child with, rather than fooling with this idiot. But then again, Phaedra also got pregnant twice by a felon, so she really doesn't have any room to talk.
Well,
I mean, you could have gotten a better man out of a catalog than Mark.
Well,
at least the catalog man would, just leave you alone and you'd have your baby in peace. Now Mark's trying to take half your house.
Right. I can't believe he's like coming after like some of her stuff. Because I remember he said on camera, which I hope she's using in the court of law, that he said he doesn't need any of her stuff. He was like, take it all. I can rebuild.
Well, because of the pandemic, I know that his restaurant in Brooklyn has shuttered. So
no, I've been there. I went there with my mom. Like the food was actually pretty good. It was overpriced though. I would definitely go back, but I'm like, they conned me. They gave me one piece of catfish, like with the mac and cheese. I want to say it was like $26 or something.
They're still open? I thought they had closed.
I thought they were closed by the look of it because I was out there. I was coming from the Brooklyn Museum, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is walking distance. I took my mom there. At first, I thought they were empty because the whole front of the restaurant, it just looked deserted. I called, and it's like, oh, yeah, we're open. I walked in. It was pretty empty. It was like maybe 4 or 5 tables, but it was like around 2 p.m. To my knowledge, it hasn't closed down yet because I think that would have made headlines if his restaurant closed down.
That's true. I guess I got some bad tea.
It must have been from media takeout.
Or it was somebody who just walked by and the place looked so deserted, they figured it was closed.
Right. You brought up Phaedra. We have some news that Phaedra might be back in an All-Stars cast. So
the first thing is she is nobody's star. That's issue 1. And two, they are going to put anybody on Peacock. We need to call NBC because they'll put our show on Peacock. They putting everything on Peacock right now. Lisa Vanderpump, Phaedra Parks, just all the old shoes of Bravo, the old used shoe. That's what Phaedra is to me. She's an old leather shoe. Now, she may be tough, but she's wrinkled, she's weathered, she belongs in the back of your closet under your suitcase.
Have you seen Phaedra lately? She's been looking good, no
Her
matter how you
soul,
feel about her.
I'm talking about how her soul looks.
Fine, fine. All right. You got me there.
The soul of a thief.
I think Giselle's soul is darker than Phaedra's.
Well, her head is more bulbous, I'll tell you that.
Like, I saw the recent episode of Potomac, and like, I just could not believe they did that to Wendy. No matter how, like, I feel about Wendy, you know, it's jokes, you know, the degrees and stuff. She could be boring, but they really tried to tear her confidence down at the table, and it hurt her feelings. And it took Karen to, like, uplift her, and I really enjoyed seeing that. As a bunch of you saw that I got a little emotional watching it, because it just looked like a genuine moment.
Well, that's good. Well, you see, Karen believes in herself, and Karen finally got those wigs together, so she has the confidence that she needs, and she can pass that on to others. Now, Gabrisa and Gabrisi will always have to deal with, of course not, ass men, and she will be alone. You see, Karen may be with her coot, but her coot stays with her.
Did you see the episode yet?
No, not yet. I did see Beverly Hills, though.
We'll get to that later because we have a lot of Erika Jayne news. But I got to say, last night, that was the juiciest, best Housewives episode I've seen in years. In years. And we need to give the MVP to Garcelle and Even Sutton. They did not take their foot off those bitches' necks. Sorry, I got excited.
They didn't. It was incredible.
Right. But the story that I was talking about with Phaedra, the All Stars 2 cast, allegedly leaked by Daily Mail. And it's going to be all former housewives, starting out with Vicki, Dorinda.
Oh, God. Vicki is just so ugly. I mean, that is one of the ugliest human beings that's ever walked the earth. I mean, she really, like, she is a monster. She looks like Jigsaw. Like, we need to talk about it. Like, that is the ugliest human being I've ever seen.
I'm going to say Ann Coulter.
I'm going to say Vicki and then Ann. It's sad, but Ann looks better than Vicki.
Well, the next person is Dorinda Medley, Phaedra Parks, Brandi Glanville, Jill Zarin, Taylor Armstrong, and Eva Pigford. Oh, I'm sorry, Eva Marcille. I'm sorry.
Well, she'll always be Eva Pigford to us. I don't like Brandi Glanville. She's a racist bitch.
I think Ramona is a racist bitch, as we can see from that past Tuesday episode.
I didn't get to Housewives of New York yet, but I heard that she was continuing to be a nightmare at the Black Shabbat dinner. And the white woman that was hosting it was just like, oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God. The entire time.
I was actually mad at Ebony because for Ramona to marginalize and discredit a Black woman's experience of almost dying in labor, like, I was speechless. It was cringeworthy. It's not funny. I wasn't entertained by it. And I'm like, however we feel about Kenya, Bravo made sure to issue a statement about Kenya wearing that headdress, but they haven't said anything about Ramona's racist behavior.
Oh, they're letting Ramona's behavior speak for itself. And that's why Ramona doesn't want to film the reunion, because she knows she's going to get hung out to dry. She knows that this is probably her last season. There is no redemption story for her.
But yeah, I'm here for an All-Stars cast, but can we get to the first one? Like, let's talk about the first one before we even get to a second one. The first one didn't even air yet. So for them to even talk about season 2, they don't even know how All-Stars 1 gonna be.
Well, they need programming for that damn app. because that's where it's going to air, on Peacock.
That's true. So are you ready for this story? Unfortunately, we have to talk about Miss Nicki Minaj and her husband, the felon. They're both getting sued by the person that he assaulted. Right.
Because they tried to defame her character and say that she was lying.
Yeah, and then bribe her, and then harassment.
I mean, well, you know how the Barbs do. So I'm not surprised that this is Nicki's behavior as well.
I'm not surprised at all. Like, she's a talented chick, but she has terrible taste in men. She's just mean and nasty sometimes, like for no reason. Like she's just so good. Like I hate actually talking about her because her fans like, oh my gosh, she can't do anything wrong. But yeah, according to the documents, the victim says that the harassment began in 2018 when Nicki allegedly made comments about how Kenneth was wrongly accused and claimed that Jennifer recanted her story. She said that it never happened. Then in March 2020, she claims Nicki called her and offered to fly her and her family to Los Angeles in exchange for recanting her assault claims and keeping Kenneth during his arrest for failing to register as a sex offender. What is it with Nicki and sex offenders and protecting them?
And also, if you're going to bribe somebody, you're going to have to do better than a free trip to LA.
Like, following the calls and visits, Jennifer claims Nicki had people reach out to her brother and offer a $500,000 payment to exchange for a statement recanting her allegations. And woof, Lord.
You're Nicki Minaj, 500,000. You see, you never get anywhere being cheap. Maybe if you had offered 15 million, you might not be having this conversation. 15 million, somebody might say, you know what? You're gonna pay me for my pain.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna get out of you regardless out of the court of law.
Mm-hmm.
She also said that after her brother declined the offer, Nicki sent lawyers to her home to try and pressure her into recanting the story. Her refusal prompted one more alleged cash bribe of $20,000 and alleged threats to her safety.
I won't get out of bed for $20,000.
Right. She said she had to move from her home in August and is living in fear. I mean, I think Nicki has been on Twitter like telling her fan base like, oh, these charges are a lie. She also insinuated that the woman was white and the woman is actually biracial. So she was trying to use that against the woman too. I'm just like, all this for what? For a man that you chose to have a baby with and marry?
And who isn't worth anything.
Anything.
But that's what Nicki wants because Nicki likes to control her man. That's why she was with Sissy Safari.
But she can have any man she wants. She's beautiful. She's super.
Not with that attitude.
You think?
It's the attitude.
Yeah, I can see that.
No one wants to be around an unpleasant person.
But yeah, no one is surprised, but she's suing Nicki and her husband for intentional infliction of emotional distress, harassment, and witness intimidation, and suing Petty for sexual assault related to the 1995 conviction.
Run their pockets. Run those pockets.
I want that on a coffee mug. You know, I still have that coffee mug. What did it say? It was one of your catchphrases.
Tell a kin, tell a friend, tell that heifer you hate.
Something about a bitch.
Ooh, you can never expect more from a less ass bitch.
Ooh, you know what? Let me just get it. I have it in my cabinet. Oh my God.
Is that what it said?
You were right. Don't expect more from a less ass bitch. You should really sell these mugs again.
Yeah, I'm actually like looking for somebody out here that like does merch.
Mhm.
And my friend Super Sugar Ray Ray, who did that hoodie, I'm gonna talk with her about it too.
Right, and then tell a kin, tell a friend, tell that heifer you hate. I remember we had the pop roast mugs too for a minute.
We still have the store up. We just have to we've got to revamp.
Also, speaking of subscribers, wow, I am just blown away. I'm 560 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. Crazy. I would have never thought. I started my channel in March 2020.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
so yeah, follow me, y'all, if y'all want. Get me to 10,000.
Yeah, let's get Chris to 10,000
Thank you.
and then to 20 and then to 30 and then so on and so forth.
And speaking of numbers as well, just updating everyone on the podcast because we're available on Apple and Spotify and wherever you want to hear streaming. We're at 95,000 streams. So we're almost at 100,000 streams as well.
I can't believe it.
Right. For our little podcast. So I appreciate that.
The little show that started from movie reviews, and I was telling my friend about the show and that you were coming to visit, and I was like, I think it was his suggestion, or it might have been, no, it was your suggestion. Because I was like, oh, we should do a hot topic show.
I wanted to do the Hot Topic show. Like I initially wanted to do that because I was like, I am so opinionated. Like I was like, okay, the movie reviews were fun, but can we talk about hot topics and just see?
And I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then the next day I called you. I'm like, oh my God, everybody loves our show.
Yeah. And oh, he sounds like Jennifer Williams. And that took off.
Oh my goodness. And now you're more popular than Jennifer Williams.
I'm a humble gentleman, so it's whatever, you know.
Well, at least you won't marry somebody with a big knot on their head and then get left with nothing. You know, reality TV really shows you a lot of these heifers think they can gold dig, but they're hitting aluminum.
Aluminum.
And speaking of hitting aluminum, I think it's time to talk about Erika Jayne.
I mean, where to begin? I mean, well, let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because it feels like at first they were all like behind Erika's back. They were like, well, yeah, I had this suspicion. And then when they're in Erika's face, oh, well, I totally believe you, Erika. Of course. Like, I was like, really? They just really tried to like throw Sutton under the bus, especially Dorit.
Dorit really backpedaled and pussy popped. Sutton was also not as strong as she was in that meeting when she showed up in
I'll
that
give
black
you that.
dress.
Yep.
Where it's like, okay, you said you have questions and you don't want to be around and you're calling your lawyers, but then in the woman's presence, you can't bolster your confidence.
And
You
Erika
were
was, oh, what did you say?
They were shrinking violets when they should have been loud roses.
Yes, and Sutton was sitting right next to her, so I'm guessing she was just really intimidating. I mean, Erika does look intimidating.
I can't be intimidated by someone who's that broke.
She just has a cold demeanor,
You
and
can she's going to be cold out in the street. You're going to be freezing. When you're homeless, yeah, but you can't be cold when you're that broke. Please. You married a coot and you got conned? You're an idiot, and I can never be intimidated by an idiot.
well,
I think Kyle invited her just to be mean because everybody gave her the California hate greeting. Oh my God, hi, how are you? Like, now that I've lived out here for a moment, I can spot oh, okay, we're going to be fake right now. And you're fake because you know you're going to have to deal with these people, so why have bad energy? But those highs, they were fuck yous.
yeah, like she's boring. She's a follower. She's not that interesting, and she talks a lot about nothing. And of course, like she's the Gretchen Wiener to Kyle's Regina George. Like she's a wannabe.
You know, I can see that. And I could see Kyle thinking she's Regina George when Kathy is the real star of the family.
Oh, definitely.
I love how she's so rich, she speaks her own language.
And you saw she said for the cameras, oh, I don't know her. Like Mariah Carey in the last episode, I don't know her. Like, you're not about to call me up.
I don't play in court.
Right. Did you see someone posted that whichever law firm, they sent a letter to Bravo saying that they can't like mess with any of the footage. They're going to probably use it or ask for it. So, yeah. Also, I also like how Giselle was like making sure like to keep Dorit to task. Well, not just Dorit, but the other ladies too. Like, you didn't say that. You didn't say
that's not what you said last night. If that's your opinion, if that's your opinion, if that's your opinion, it wasn't last night.
She also, I really appreciated her saying to Erika to her face that you're going to be fine. It's about the victims, really. Like they keep trying to make Erika the victim, but the victims are the orphans, the widows that were stolen from, the burn victims.
That was heartbreaking. Like what we like hold on, let me see how to phrase this. We saw the documentary that they did on Tom and Erika, and that was heartbreaking. And that was a horrible accident. Like PG&E basically blew up their house, and he's going to have surgeries for the rest of his life. And you just stole his money. And that was a decade ago, before you can use the coup defense. If you want to say, oh, you've got Alzheimer's, you've got dementia, you didn't have it 3 years ago.
Right.
I'm sorry, you didn't have it 10 years ago.
It was very obvious that she was trying to blame, like she was defending Tom at the table. I was like, does she realize like she's defending her husband and using his defense? And
I think that she's doing it in conjunction with his lawyers, because Sutton did point out that everybody has the same story. I think she's doing it for financial reasons, so that she's hoping in bankruptcy court she can just get it discharged. But
right.
You're going to have to pay those people, and that's when you're really going to get cold. You
Yeah.
you wanted to be cold, so now you're going to be cold out in the street. You're going to be destitute.
Tom Girardi recently auctioned off Erika Jayne's collectibles. The auction is on August 25th, and there's also a link provided, y'all. So if y'all want to buy some of this shit, the link is provided on lovebeatscott.com. Like, I looked at the auction too. I was like, wow. Like, they showed everything that was like available.
I wish I had enough money to buy that leopard Cartier ring.
I want to say that was up for grabs.
That's like $85,000.
Damn. And then that bracelet on Sutton's hand in the last episode.
Oh, when Lisa Rinna said, "Is that real?" and Sutton said, "Of course it's real."
And you can like,
Sutton's like, "I don't shop at Claire's like you, honey. I actually have money. I didn't have to do a Depends ad to get my house."
Did you have a problem with Sutton saying that she's looking out for herself?
No, I don't think they understand just how rich Sutton is.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that's the case.
I think Sutton's like, no, Erika Jayne pretended to have that money. Like, Sutton will never tell you how much money she has because she has that much.
Oh, yeah. I know she ran her husband's pockets successfully.
I'm surprised he's still breathing. Now, that's when you really run his pockets, when you put him in the ground or in the urn. I'll have your ass right on my mantle.
Here you go again.
I will. Well, I'm going to outlive him.
Well, you definitely have the right color on because you are the Black Widow.
Imagine getting your favorite groceries and putting time back into your week all at the same time. Imperfect Foods makes it so easy to do that. You can get intentionally sourced groceries in just a few clicks right from your computer. Imperfect Foods is a grocery delivery service that has sustainable groceries and your pantry staples that are delicious. Make a difference and embrace the perfection. You can get the groceries delivered weekly with Imperfect Foods. All you have to do is sign up and personalize your weekly order to shop online each week for sustainable groceries and invest in a better food system delivered right to your front door. In 2019, 35% of the food supply went unsold or uneaten. Imperfect Foods is turning this around with food that would otherwise fall through the cracks. Goodbye packaging guilt and freezer packed Tetris. With Imperfect Foods, you don't have to sacrifice the environment and you can still get convenience. Imperfect Foods is the first grocery delivery company that makes it easy to return your packaging to them after every order. Unlike on-demand delivery companies, Imperfect delivers by neighborhood, a new model that produces 25 to 75% fewer emissions than individual trips to the grocery store.
Right now, Imperfect Foods is offering our Pop Roast listeners 20% off your first 4 orders when you go to imperfectfoods.com and make sure you use the promo code ROAST. Again, 20% off your first 4 orders. That's up to an $80 value at imperfectfoods.com. Offer code using promo code ROAST. Try Imperfect Foods now, and for a limited time, get 20% off your first 4 orders. Go to imperfectfoods.com and use ROAST to sign up. Lastly, I want to say Lisa Rinna is definitely a duplicitous bitch.
Ooh, Lisa, I mean, talking out of both sides of both of her faces, I'm going to have to call her Gabrice and Gabrissy too.
Like, she is clearly protecting Erika, clearly.
No, she's protecting her plot line. And she knows I can align myself with her. And then at the last minute, when we find out, that Erika did know and she was complicit in all of this, then Rinna gets to be the victim. I know exactly the stunt she's pulling. And she's pulling it well. She's not that good of an actress, but she knows a soap opera plot line.
Huh. Well, here's the tea. Allegedly, the reason why Lisa Rinna is protecting Erika so much is because Erika recently financed one of Lisa Rinna's businesses with Erika's money. So
Erika doesn't have any money. That was stolen money.
Well, it was a loan from Erika's LLC, I believe.
So Rinna's in bed with this too.
It could be.
Because they're going after that LLC and they are going to get every penny. The word is disengorge. And that's what the court is going to do. They're going to disengorge Erika of all monies illegally received.
Well, I don't feel...
That's what happens when you gold dig. I'll just make the money myself. Or make sure I put them in the ground and have my life insurance.
But moving on, so Carrie Underwood, she's under fire because on Twitter, someone looked up her likes, and one of the likes is her liking a tweet that had something about children not wearing masks.
I think kids should be wearing masks because they can't be vaccinated. Like, why are people... This pandemic has made people crazy. Like, I don't understand why simple health practices are such an issue. Like, are masks fun? No. Are they going to keep us safe? Yes. If you can't be vaccinated, should you wear one? Yes. That's kind of what's going on right now. It's like you wear a raincoat when it's rainy. You wear a coat when it's cold. You wear a mask during a pandemic.
Right, so she was liking a tweet that was against school mask mandates. Like, it was, she was supporting a conservative commentator's anti-mask video. I mean, are we surprised? Carrie Underwood, the country singer, are we surprised she's a conservative?
I mean, these conservatives need to learn how to conserve lives because we're going to end up with another variant that's just going to snap goes the weasel. Pop, that's going to pop goes the weasel our butts. We're already dealing with Delta, which is 200 times more contagious. How do we even get more contagious than what we have going on now? I'm
Right.
tired, y'all. I'm tired. Can we just wear our masks, get our shots so we can get back to real life? We'd like to actually do this live for y'all, but we can't because it's not safe.
I have a full fall schedule coming up, so I don't need, like one of those memes like my fall plans, the Delta variant. Like I have a whole list of like fall things to do. So I don't need this.
Neither do I.
Oh, I'm going to be in Atlanta for Labor Day weekend for the madness
And then you're coming here.
to San Francisco. Yes.
You had to go to Atlanta before you came. You couldn't, I wish we could reverse that.
I know. I know. I mean, my friend is DJing some events, and then whenever I go to Atlanta, it's free lodging. All I got to do is just rent a car, and that's it. So, and I love Atlanta, unlike you.
I've never been.
And I can't believe you have so much to say about Atlanta, but you've never been. Like, I think you would love the food. You would love I can see you living in Atlanta. I'm serious. I think you can live in Atlanta.
You tried it. I will live in Idaho before I live in Atlanta.
Wow. I mean, one day, like we're
No,
gonna have to come to Atlanta together and just visit.
it's
Just
never going to
visit.
happen. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna go to Atlanta, never going. Pop.
I personally don't get it. Like I can see, like I would never go to Jackson, Mississippi or Alabama. Like,
Do I look like I'm going to any of those places either?
but I'm just saying, it seems like it's almost equal to you. Atlanta, me never going to Jackson, Mississippi. Like, and I think,
Quiet it. Actually, I would go to Jackson, Mississippi before I would go to Atlanta.
look,
I would go to Huntsville before I would go to Atlanta.
where is Huntsville?
I don't know. I watch a show about it. I don't know. It's all forest and trees out there. It's pretty. I think it's Alabama. It might be Mississippi. I don't know.
It sounds like somewhere in the South, like Arkansas.
I don't think I'm going back to the Eastern Seaboard for the next 20 years.
Fine, fine. You stay on the West Coast. I'll see you there the second week of September.
Exactly. Now you've got somewhere great to visit. Daniel Craig, James Bond actor, says he's not leaving money for his children after he dies. He thinks inheritance is distasteful. That is the definition of whiteness. Because you know your children are white, you don't have to leave them money. They're white. They already print the money.
That's an interesting mindset to have for him.
That's white. That's white.
That's white.
That's not right. That's white. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I have to even think about having children, my kids have to be rich before they come here. I'll give them my share of pop roast. I mean, they'll be happy when it's their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
But because I know, oh, my kids are going to be Black kids, so they have to be rich so that they are protected. Not so that they can be rich, but just so that they can have the normal creature comforts that these white children, his white children, will have. That they're just given.
Well, I'm glad I'm taking myself out of the equation because I don't want kids. So I ain't got to worry about all that.
I'm going to end up marrying some guy that wants kids, so I'm resigning myself to it.
No, I'm not against, like if my partner wants kids, I'm like, fine, but I will not be changing diapers. Like that's going to be you. You asked to have this. I will support you, but do not expect me to be changing diapers or anything of the sort. This is your child. Your child.
I secretly want to do it.
I gotta walk down the aisle first, and that's still gonna be a planets aligning, Infinity Stones gathered situation.
I could see me pulling an Andy Cohen.
Oh, and just getting a child?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kids that need homes, so I'd be like, okay, come on, let's
Well,
go.
well, no, like he didn't adopt. He like did the I'm guessing, what is it?
Fertilization, the
Yeah.
egg fertilization. I don't know if I would have my own children or if I would adopt. It really wouldn't matter.
hmm Now I would have a child for, one of my homegirls. Like I know like she has a great deal with her company where they pay for her to freeze her eggs.
Oh, I could not do that. If it's my child, I have to raise it. It's my child.
Oh, well, hey, you can. I would love a partner that has your mindset. You want to raise it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I could,
I'm gonna go to Mykonos and enjoy the sun and the clubs. Like you can raise the child.
I could see me with little Celeste or Benjamin.
Celeste. I love that name.
Yeah, if I had a girl, it would be Celeste. If I had a boy, it'll be Benjamin.
God, you just opened up like I remember when I was like, damn, I think I was in my late teens. I was like, if I ever had children, I want my girl to be named Madison. Don't judge me. Uh, and I think, what did I want my son to be named? I think Xavier. I don't know. Like, I definitely wanted a girl named Matt. Did you just make a face? Oh my God. I cannot wait to look back at this. Oh my God. Anyway, next topic. Universal sets Fast and Furious 10 release date. Now, why the fuck are we still having Fast and the Furious movies coming out?
Child, we've been dealing with Fast and the Furious longer than COVID. That ain't going away either.
I'm just like, who is it?
I mean, no disrespect, but the star of the franchise died and they still kept it going. That's like if both of us clocked the fuck out and somebody else was doing pop roast.
Right. I was about to say, who is encouraging, but I know who's encouraging this. You motherfuckers. Y'all keep watching it. The last movie made $500 million globally.
People are watching it. I don't think I've ever seen a Fast and the Furious movie. I know I've seen a clip or two, but I mean, like until Vin Diesel is going to take his clothes off, I don't want to hear from him.
I think I saw
him and The Rock. It's like, and also like we haven't even gotten dick prints out of these dudes. How are you sexy when we haven't even gotten a dick print? Now we've seen Chris Pines, we've seen Chris Helmsworth, Chris Pratt. You're up to bat next. I'm sorry, you're not getting any more, oh, you're so hot until we see the print. Because The Rock gives me small dick energy.
Do you know when the first Fast... Wait, did you say The Rock gives you small dick energy?
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch The Rock during the WWE days.
I did too, and I still didn't see a print then, and I haven't seen one now.
Well, I was more concerned with the what was behind him, but you might be right. You might be right. I think he was sexier back in the day. I think he's a little bit too brolic now. I don't really like brolic. Like, I think he was the right size in his wrestling days. Like, I was obsessed with The Rock. Like, I kind of blamed The Rock when I was a teenager. Like, I was like, oh my goodness.
I would have been, but I never got to see the print. Now the Triple H guys, you got to see their print. At least you knew what they were working with. At least you knew what they were working with. The Rock always kept his shit hidden. I'm like, is it hidden or is it just not there?
I used to remember like, oh my God, Kurt Angle has a fatty. Like,
oh my God!
Oh my God.
No, this is like what, this is how we discovered we were gay.
Exactly. Because I started watching wrestling for all the wrong reasons after that.
I look at everybody that's watching wrestling and I'm like, I'm sorry. I think we all know why we're here.
Well, back to Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious, the first movie came out in 2001. 2001.
It's 2021. It's been 20 years of that franchise.
Yes.
And well, we're going into the 4th year of our show.
I love it. And our contract was renewed, y'all. So you will get another year of Pop Roast.
It is iconic.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Letter today, and yeah.
We got season 4. You know, it's funny. We get more contract renewals than the Housewives. I mean, what's her name? Mariah is still waiting for her contract to be renewed. Now, ours is, you know, they already sent us ours. They renewed us early.
Yep.
They said, we like y'all.
Mm-hmm. So the
shout out to Audio Boom. Thank you so much.
Yeah, shout out to Audio Boom and all the sponsors. I'm thinking of that Tierra Marie song. I need a sponsor or something.
Oh, you know, and I think she still does need a sponsor because 50 Cent is going to be on her ass now that Love and Hip Hop is filming again. Atlanta has been such a chore this season. Now, they don't know what they're doing. They need to get rid of the old heads and just put them on a different show. Like, we don't care about Erika Mena and Safari, and nobody gives a shit about Rashida. I actually like some of the new rap girls that they have on. They're like TikTok stars. Dion Ferris's daughter is on. I've liked some of her music. You don't know, you know Dion Ferris. She sang the theme song for NYPD Blue. I know what you're doing, baby. You don't. You might be a little young for that one. I think that's when the 3-year age difference comes in because I barely remember NYPD Blue, but I remember that song.
No, I remember NYPD Blue. Like, I'm aware of the show, but I think I used to watch New York Undercover on Fox.
Okay. I never watched either. I just knew I loved the song.
No, I remember Fox used to be the channel for Black people. We had Martin.
It was.
We had Martin. We had Rock. You remember that?
I remember Rock. And living single. Ooh, and then Friends ripped it off. Although I will say similar concept, but they were so white, it was such a different show. Yeah. Like, I was never interested in Friends. Living Single was interesting. And then they had too many honkies. Then they're going to have David Schwimmer. Like, okay, Matt LeBlanc is cute. I can get behind Matt LeBlanc. But Matthew Perry and David Schwimmer, like, that was just, oh, they're white, so they get this role. It's like, they weren't cute. If you're going to put a honky on my screen, make them cute. Give me a Chris Pine. Like, if I'm going to look at you, give me a reason. They were just average white guys that just kind of stumbled into the audition room and got the job.
I never saw an episode.
I've seen enough clips.
I want to say the first, like, majority white cast show I watched was Will and Grace.
I will say Lisa Kudrow is funny. Now, Lisa Kudrow is talented. I can't speak for the rest of them. And Matt LeBlanc is cute. Don't know if No, I saw him in Lost in Space. He was good in Lost in Space. I've always liked Matt LeBlanc.
What were we talking about?
Friends.
And then we were talking about, like, how Fox...
how Fox was the black... First we had Fox, then we had UPN, the black man's friend.
Yeah, You People's Network. Exactly.
That's when we got, like, the Parenthood. What was that show with Marlon Wayans? And he was married to Tisha Campbell in the show.
No, it was Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans, I'm sorry.
It was, I never watched that show.
Also, cheers to Marlon and... Also, cheers to Marlon and Shawn Wayans for being as hot as they were. They also made me gay.
Marlon Wayans definitely, because he used to show his ass a lot.
His ass, they had the abs. I always wanted to look like them. They were always body goals.
Right. UPN, oh my God. It's the CW now. Yeah. They used to have so much like black content and black shows.
I don't know what happened. And speaking of not knowing what happened, Michelle Williams revealed it took her 12 to 13 years to watch the footage of her falling on 106 in Park. Now, I have something to say. Michelle, get over yourself. Oh my God, you were a part of one of the most epic girl groups of all time. You had a little boo-boo on stage. Do you know how many boo-boos I've had on stage? Do you know how often I've got on stage and then just the entire act disappears from my mind and I've got to wing it? I mean, I'm talented enough to wing it, but still, you have moments on stage. It's okay. Laugh at it. Like, it shouldn't be, oh my God, 12 to 13 years to actually look at it. You're taking yourself too seriously, honey. I mean, we're not taking your vocals that seriously. They always, threw you that little bridge and you never did well on that. Like, if you really want to be embarrassed about something, be embarrassed about your vocals, not falling on stage. It's just funny to me that someone like her is so concerned about that one moment when you have albums out with these. Can you hit us with the bridge? Can you give us? Come on, it's iconic. Only you can do it.
I want to give my rebuttal to that.
Okay.
You just said, but fine, you ain't gonna be your man and let me know. But yeah. So, in defense of Michelle, so let me finish. So she was at a interview and the radio host brought up her falling. Now, Michelle was reminded a lot of that moment, and already, Michelle always gets the blunt of the jokes. Like, nobody wants to be Michelle. The whole poor Michelle thing. So, of course, it's going to bother her because she's always been not even the second string, the third string. So, I understand why she feels that way. And she brought up a good point. And Michelle Williams is funny. That clip of her going off on that guy, it was very funny. She was like, why am I the one that's being standing for falling? Usher has fell. Beyonce has fell. Kelly passed out. She just threw Kelly under the bus just now. I didn't know that Kelly passed out one time. And I get it. Like, she doesn't want that to be her story. Like, I mean, it is an iconic fall, though. But
it was also the fact that your girls just left your happy ass on the ground. I'm sorry. If you tripped and fell, I'm helping you up. I am stopping. I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm helping you up.
The show must go on, though, and I think that's
it's okay for the show to take a minute. That's our girl. We gonna get her.
Well,
because Beyonce was just like, I couldn't stand that bitch. No way. Beyonce probably slicked her heels. That's what happened. I wouldn't put it past her. Or if it probably wasn't Beyonce. I'm not gonna put that on her. It was her sorry ass father.
Well, Michelle is very funny, and low-key, she has the biggest personality in Destiny's Child. And I think that she deserves to have a show, but she had a reality show, but she needs to stop being so Jesus-y and just be the Michelle that we know. Like, when she just was, like, going off on that guy, I was like, this is the Michelle that I want. And I want people to, like, be introduced to her again and take her seriously. Because she's a really fun personality.
She should probably do something in home interiors where her personality can shine through and we can get to know her through how she furnishes her home. Rather than doing that show where she was supposed to be marrying that guy and then nobody was really here for it. And it's, your relationships are personal and private. You don't put it on screen. You just don't. And he was not good TV.
I was so happy for her, though. I was like, Michelle got a man. Like, I was thinking that song, Shanti's Got a Man. Like, I was just like, finally, she got a man. Like, he's easy on the eyes. You know, they look happy. And then, you know, didn't last.
Because they put it on TV.
I think so. Maybe that was the reason.
Relationships don't translate to camera. Well, ours does, but not everyone.
Right.
And again, we're not dating, we're friends. And
Right.
that's why we can translate to camera. That would be too much. Oh my God. I could never do one of those like couples YouTube channels. It's like, no, we're going to have our moments where we're irritated with each other, and that's okay. That's a normal, healthy relationship. So when you put it on camera and it's always forced, it becomes exhausting when the camera turns off.
So the Salt Lake City trailer debuted the day after we filmed.
I saw. That is a good trailer, and Brooks is just as boring as he always was. But I'll tell you this, Meredith, I will steal your husband.
I don't think her husband's that attractive.
He is when he stands on his wallet.
Well, I thought it was messy that it's being insinuated that Meredith was the one that tipped off the feds on Jen.
And that is so not true. Meredith does not have that kind of power. That was a deep federal investigation that had been going on for years. For years. She wasn't even she was scamming people long before she was on this show. That's when the feds went after her. When the feds come after you like that, they've been looking into you for 5 years, which is why we make legal money. The feds can look at me all they want. They can look at us all they want. Ain't nothing but, oh, they just do a little YouTube show and they have a couple sponsors. That's all they do. Mm-hmm. Nothing to see here. They were in, like, that was a 5-year investigation.
Wow. And then you have Mary being accused of being a cult leader.
Now, that seems to be sticking. That seems to be sticking.
Especially how she treats people, too. Like, you saw she treated her own family.
I mean, just cut them off if you don't like them.
Then she tried to accuse Heather of being racist. I'm just like, girl, Mary, you are racist.
Exactly. Mary, you are prejudiced. Mary is prejudiced. Heather may say some stupid things. I'm not going to say that she hasn't, but I don't see racism from Heather. I may see ignorance where she just may need to be informed, but I don't see like that hatefulness from Heather.
I just side-eye her when she fetishizes black men.
Now, is she fetishizing, or aren't black men kind of the shit?
They are, but
I mean, like we want us, so I can't be mad that she wants us. It's like, you know, we something to look at.
I know. It's just,
we smell good. Our skin feels amazing. We give the best hugs. Like, I understand what you're saying, and is it fetishization, or are you just appreciating a good thing?
I think it's a fine line.
It is a fine line.
About the penises, probably, like, oh, you know, I want a big black dick. you know, when I go to the gay clubs, like, ooh, I bet you have a big black cock. Oh, God.
Lord, you can't stand that word.
God. Oh, let me tell you this story. Oh my God.
I will say, like, okay, let's take color off of it for a moment. Just as tall men, people want to sit on our lap.
Even in that show Run the World, the girl was turned off when she was with the white guy when he said cock. She was like, no. A quick story. Oh, and this is Chris's business. So I was on an app, and you know, I was feeling this gentleman, and he was at a hotel down the street, and this was the phrase: "Gird your loins, ladies," because I have not heard this phrase. He said that, "I want you to breed this pussy, daddy." Now, I don't like it when men call it pussy. Like, maybe bussy, maybe bussy. But I really don't like the term. I really don't like the term breed. I really don't like it. I don't like the term breed.
And so y'all know breed means to have unprotected sex and release in the partner. That is breeding for gay men. Y'all are getting some information today. We are kicking off this 4th season, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, I was immediately turned off. I just no. I mean, you can call me daddy if you want to, but it's just uh, don't call it a pussy and don't say breed. I don't like that. But anyway, Salt Lake City premieres in September, and y'all, we are going to be busy. That means Salt Lake City, Potomac, New York, and I'm forgetting one more.
Miami is coming
No,
too.
Beverly Hills.
Oh
All
yeah.
same time in September. So September is going to be, geez. I mean, at least we got some content. At least the YouTube is going to be pumping.
And we're going to get the New York reunion, and that's going to be epic because Ramona is going to have her feet put to the fire. And I feel like they shouldn't have brought Bershawn on this season. Like, it was too, like, I think we just should have stuck with Ebony because they brought her on, but they didn't really use her. And I hate it when they bring somebody on and they're not really present in the show.
Speaking of, like, Ebony did an article with, I forgot the publication. It just came out. And she said that when she saw Bershawn, she was like, oh, that's interesting. And then she said producers told her that she's not even a friend of, she's just, a guest. But that's how Bershawn was marketed. And now we saw her for those few episodes, and now we don't even see her again.
It's very confusing. It's like, is she going to be a part of it? Is she not? Like, I think honestly, she didn't do that well with the ladies.
Really? I liked her. I enjoyed her. And I like that she just wanted to have fun, like.
I like that she wanted to have fun, but like that first impression, that first, like when she went out with them and said, y'all are boring. And they were like, well, you don't even know what, like, I don't feel like she gave them enough of a chance. I feel like that wasn't like, because those girls are fun. We can say a lot about them, but come on, Luann falling into bushes, drunk Dorinda, make it nice. It's like, no, they like have another 2 drinks with them. Have another 2 drinks with them. You'll see. I have to say, I am most impressed this season by Sonja.
Well, she peed in someone's driveway in the last episode.
But she wasn't racist. Was she? I didn't see the last episode.
Sonja's, she just, she can put her foot in her mouth sometimes. Like,
we can all put our foot in our mouth sometimes. Nobody's perfect. It's like Ramona, we can tell there's that true hatred of other people there. Sonja, it's like, okay, you said something stupid, but charge it to your mind, not your heart. And you were drunk anyway. You didn't mean it. And not that and also she doesn't say out of the way things like Ramona says.
Well, she said, Ramona, we have to listen to what the Jews and the blacks are saying. Like, I feel sorry for those 3 black people at the table. I just know, like,
that guy that took that sip.
Like, Jesus. Like, I could not imagine. Ebony got the right black people for that situation, because if I was at that table, I would have been cussed Ramona the fuck out. She got the right black people to be a part of that dinner. But
I love how Ebony isn't afraid to make Ramona feel uncomfortable in her truth. She's just like, say it with your chest and put your hood on. It's okay. If you want to wear your hood, wear your hood.
Speaking of hoods, Real Housewives of Dallas has been canceled indefinitely. Like, we were just talking about it last episode, and they did a test shoot, like, with all the ladies, and could you imagine it? They got the call and was like, Well, we're not gonna go full. So yeah, like that's it for Dallas, and I don't care because
Wait, I think our shows lasted longer than Real Housewives of Dallas. Oh my God, let's look it up.
Well,
Let's look it up.
no, it started. I already looked it up. It started in 2016. It started with Potomac at the same time.
Oh.
So yeah, they made it to 4 years.
So have we.
Yeah, but sorry for you, you know. And New York, y'all are on notice too because I think they really need to just do a whole revamp of New York.
They definitely need to. They need to do a. I agree.
All different women. Maybe bring back maybe Leah and Ebony. Maybe.
I like Ebony and I want to see more of her. I don't feel that this show is the best fit for her. She's just too intelligent. She's just too intelligent.
That's true. I want to see Ebony on The Talk or the
Yes.
or the
Yeah, that's where Ebony belongs. And that's where I feel that she would shine better. She's this petty drama is above her. I want to see a truly diverse New York. I'm sorry?
Beneath her. You
beneath her.
Yeah.
It is truly beneath her. I want to see a cast of diverse women. I want to see rich Asian women, rich Dominican women, rich Black women, rich Brazilian women. I want to see that. I want to see the rich women with amazing fashions. And also actually rich, not Bethany Frankel almost rich, not Erika Jayne fraud rich. I want to see rich. I want you to have money that makes me salivate.
Also, I think we're missing like the family aspect of it, like Housewives. Like none of them are married, and you don't see like, well, this is why shows like Jersey Works or Married to Medicine, because they all have husbands, and sometimes like
Quad doesn't have a husband though. Quad doesn't have a husband.
The majority of the cast.
But because Quad, and that's why Quad got kicked off. She's not even married to medical. And I mean, can we really call her husband a man? He's Stuart Little. She married a rodent. If you're going to be a gold digger, don't marry a rodent, or at least marry a rich rodent. Now, Karen, for example, she's happy with her coot. You know, he did get in some tax debt, but they seem to be doing okay now. I just couldn't imagine marrying for money and then finding out your ass is broke. I'd beat you to death. I would just beat with a crowbar. I'd just go to the trunk and get a crowbar and that would be it. And you're laughing because you know it's the truth. Wait, I was telling my friend, remember when I had that housekeeper over and he said he didn't do dishes and you just said, you're going to throw him out the window.
No, because I know when he said he didn't do dishes, this was Alex's face. Don't do dishes. You don't do dishes.
I mean, like, you are a housekeeper. Like, it's not like I asked you over, like, it's not like you're my electrician or my plumber or my tax person. Like, I asked you here to, you know, I'm paying you to clean the house. And dishes is a part of it.
No.
You were just like, I'm afraid for him. No. You knew, you were like, he's about to go 4 stories down right now. You're like, honey, you can't say that close to the window. You don't know him. He will throw you out of it.
I was there, y'all. I was there, and it was hilarious when the guy was like, I don't do dishes. Excuse me? Like, I know, I hired some cleaning services. I think it's called E-Maids, and they actually have a checkbox of what they do. And the only thing extra that you have to pay for is, I think, oven. I think microwaves. I'm not sure. It was either like a combination of the two, but they washed my dishes. So,
and I had a dishwasher, so it wasn't like I was asking you to do anything obscene. I said, Can you rinse the dishes off and put them in the dishwasher, run the dishwasher, and then unload them and put them away? That's all I was asking. I was paying for a service.
Right, exactly.
Like, I wasn't asking you to do this for free. Like, you were getting $80 for 2 hours. And the house wasn't that big.
Right. I think a little bit more for, oof. Yeah, I think I paid like maybe $140.
For how much? For how long of a clean?
It was spotless. It was they cleaned until it got done.
Oh, okay. It was 2 hours, $80. I have a dishwasher right there, and you're going to say I don't do dishes. I was just like, well, then maybe you shouldn't clean houses. Like, if you don't want to clean houses, nobody's going to force you. There are people that enjoy the work.
That sounds like TaskRabbit that you did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
Was it TaskRabbit? I forget.
I did an actual, like, a maid service.
Ah.
There might be an e-maids by you. You never know.
Yeah, well, fortunately now I'm just in the 1 bedroom, so I can keep this clean by myself.
I love how we get from Real Housewives of Dallas getting canceled to New York to maid service. That is too crazy. But just going back to New York right quick, like, I just want to see the New York that I live in, you know? Like, there's rich women of all ethnicities in New York, and a lot of them have the same social circle, so it shouldn't be that hard.
And also, can we get some women with some more fabulous properties? Like, I'm tired of seeing Ramona's, moldy Hampton house. I'm tired of seeing, Bluestone Manor. Like, I want to see, and I'm tired of seeing Sonia's townhouse. Let's get some women with some true trophy properties. I want to see a sunken living room. I want to see something where it's like, oh, you had the contractor come in and do all this different work. Oh, I want to see tile. I want to see wood etching. I want to see something that makes me jealous. Show me the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
I'm reminded of that Sex and the City scene. I want fireworks.
Exactly. I want fireworks when I see your house. I want to see a house that's like, oh my God. That's what I want to see. Where are the yachts? None of you heifers have yachts. None of you. Not a boat amongst them.
I bet Sonny has a yacht.
She probably does.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna tell nobody. She's gonna say this is her friend's yacht and it's really her yacht.
So Netflix showed the preview to Dear White People, their last season, and it's a musical.
Oh God.
I was like, damn, like, why y'all want to do that to that show?
Music, I mean, if you don't bring it like School Days, shut up.
It's giving a woke black Glee.
Oh.
Like, I was looking at it. It's the commercial is, I mean, the trailer is so cheesy. Like, I was just like, damn, is that what they came to? Is that what the series came to?
I never watched it, but apparently.
I watched the first 2 seasons. Season 3, it just kind of got boring. I don't know. It got mundane. Let's just say that.
I mean, I thought the show was called Dear White People, so it was white people that should be watching it. I was like, this is stuff that I already know as a black person.
It's so funny because that's what somebody said, like, of course, because this is a show for white people, really. I was like, damn, you know what? But I did enjoy the first 2 seasons, though.
Oh, well, good.
But yeah, I won't be watching. Y'all can watch that. Oh, by the way, good TV alert. On HBO, there's this show called The White Lotus. It's only 6 episodes. It just ended last week, and I just started. It's good. And Natasha Rothwell's in it.
And I think she's also writing for it, so I did want to peep at that.
Oh, and there's the guy from, remember that show that was set in San Francisco with the gay men looking?
Yes.
The guy with the accent.
I remember the show, but I never actually watched it. It looked like a crappy version of Queer as Folk.
It was. It was a good show though. I enjoyed it. It was more bare bones Queer as Folk, but yeah, that guy's in it. It's like a comedy thriller.
Now that okay, a comedy thriller.
Episode, but they don't tell you what happened. They go to 1 week earlier. So it takes place at a resort in Hawaii, and Jennifer Coolidge is in it too.
Yes, I did see that, and she was making Natasha feel very uncomfortable.
Yes. So definitely I recommend that. I'm on episode 3. But yeah.
Oh, okay, I might have to peep at that. I will say, living in San Francisco, I do want to write a TV show about it.
Oh.
Like, I want to write, like, I don't know if it would be called, like, I know they did, like, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. I want to do, like, I would call myself one of the 8 gay black men that live in San Francisco, and what that's like.
It is no joke, y'all. There is one black person for every 15 white people. Probably every 15 to 20 white people. There's one black person.
That's about accurate.
Yeah. Crazy.
I always wanted to live in a city center, and now I do.
I live in New York, and I'm fine with that.
You have winters, though. I'm done.
Look, we have the best summers.
No, you don't. Although this summer's been free. You have the best summers in the Hamptons. Like, there's a reason that Fire Island and the Hamptons exist. New York is muggy as hell in the summer. You ain't even gonna tell that lie. You have to run inside to your air conditioning. Your ass is sweating. Do you know how often I would get home and I would have to get that leg up and put my bussy right over the air conditioner because it was so damn hot?
On that note, in the episode, y'all. So I will see you sooner than Amber Rose chooses the right man.
And I'll see you sooner than Kenya sees her husband.
And there you have it.